What's going on, everybody? How's everybody weekend? What's going on, Coy? Appreciate you, brother, man. I had a good time with a fellowshipping with some brothers today, man. Found out one of them live in Michigan, so definitely gonna do it again. Uh, Let me go get a hat for this raggedy ass head of mine. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh man, I had thrown the hat my raggedy ass head. Y'all can see behind me. Yeah, I was all over the place at the range. Y'all see it. RGG gonna tell me to bring out my target, so bang. Now let me tell y'all something. Right here is what we call a grouping. That was roadblock. Roadblock did that. So I ain't gonna take no credit up in here. That straight roadblock right there. In the red and in the 10. You ain't hit outside the 10. Now that's what we call in the gun world a grouping. What you call mine is a spread. You understand? I'm all over the place. So we ain't gonna talk about me today, but I just had to put that up there because like we want to see your target when you're done with it today. So the results of my target, there y'all go. So no, it wasn't 50 yards. It was that bird shot. No, what's up? That's not bird shot. That is 10 mil and 9 mil. No shotgun shells. No sir. So we gonna get off that. So I just wanted to. I ain't ashamed to say that I need to take my butt to the range a lot more. So yeah, that is pretty bad, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I probably put about 50 rounds up there of 40 and 9. I mean 10 millimeter and 9. It does look bad, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. But y'all see that box right there? Sorry. I wasn't trying to buy no more guns, but I did make a purchase today, unfortunately. So not only did I shoot, I made a purchase. I made a purchase, y'all. I need to get therapy, man. I was going in there to go shoot a gun, not buy a gun, but I walked out with a gun. I think it is when I was talking to Roadblock, and we're gonna get on the subject, but when I was talking to Roadblock, I was telling him that when I looked through the sights, because I got stabbed in my right eye. My right eye is my dominant eye. I got stabbed in my eye by my sister. So when I look at it with my right eye, the it's blurry. So today, what I was trying to do, I was trying to find a different way to shoot a gun, and I'm just starting trying to figure out how to do that by my right eye not being my dominant eye. So today, what I did was I closed my right eye, brought my gun, my pistol over to my left eye, and shot. And I did okay. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell do I do this with a damaged eye. So I'm learning, y'all. I do need to get back to the range a little bit more, as you can see. I made a spread. Unfortunately, I made the spread, y'all. I didn't make groupie. Roadblock, skilly, all over the place. Skilly all over the place. I ain't tell. But we ain't gonna talk about that. What I want to talk about. Let me see if I can get Billy in here. I gotta post this link for Billy because I told Billy to let me Instagram Mr. Billy. But I did meet up with Roadblock and a guy on Instagram by the name of AJ, which was cool, man. We had a good time. Got to get out the house, got to hang out with the fellas a little bit, get some time to myself. I'm always taking care of my family, so it was good to get out with the fellas, do a little shooting, do a little fellowshipping. So it definitely was fun. I will say that. What the hell is my Fly Family on here? My Fly Family. Where are you? Let me get this link out. I hope you jump in here. I ain't got too many people. I got 6 people. We're going to, if you see my flyer all this week, well, I think I put my flyer up Tuesday or Wednesday. Thanks to Billy, he did do the thumbnail for me. We're gonna talk about that incident, man. A very unfortunate incident that happened this week that I'm quite sure everybody has seen the video before they took it down of the female 12-year-old cousin shooting a 14-year-old male cousin in the back of the head playing with a firearm. And we're going to talk about it in a perspective of give me 1 second. I got to find Billy. God, I should have did this before I jumped on live. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sure sorry. Billy. There we go. Jump on in the live, brother. All right, I just text him. So we're going to talk. We're going to talk on the subject. He did text it to me, so let me get through his texts. Yeah, y'all, I purchased a firearm today. I did not going in there intended to buy a firearm. I have more than enough, and I don't need any more, but I did make a purchase. Hey, Erica, tell your husband to jump on this, hit this link for me and jump on this live. I just texted him on Instagram. I'm trying to find the dang on what's the name he sent me. I'm gonna have to do a run try with you, Carbon Q, because I don't know how I want to play videos without having to use my TV. So I don't know. I had to find a way to get with you so you can teach me how to put videos in on the screen. I don't know how to do that. Oh shoot! What the hell going on? What's up? What's up?
What crack the lacking? How you feel?
You see the target behind me, don't you? You see how she was all over the place, right?
I see it. What was that? That was the Vector?
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm glad I did take that thing to the range because I had trouble racking that damn thing. You seen my video? I gotta pull out the video tonight. I ain't gonna do no editing, but man, I had the bolt open, and when I went to charge it, the fucking thing the bullet was getting stuck, was getting stovepipe. I'm like a damn $1,600 gun, so I just kind of gently pulled it back, and it kind of went in the tube at that point. But I'm noticing that when it's already racked, it's not good. So what I did was the second time I just put it in there and then racked it. But it's the feed. I don't know if it's maybe I done put that extension on that mag that they gave me or what, but I don't know.
It's gonna be hard to tell. And you know what? It's funny. I did a video on the Shadow Systems,
Uh-huh.
920 MR, and I got a lot of flack about it because it wasn't running right. And I'm like, yo, if I pay $700, $800, $900 for a firearm, bro, I don't want to have to play with it. You know, I won't go out there run it. Same thing, man. $1,500 and it ain't jumping out the box. Yo,
It ain't, and I don't know what's going on. It
like,
probably could be me, operators error. I don't know.
could
But
be. Is it?
then I messed around. You remember I was talking about the 1911, right?
Yep.
Look.
Woo!
I messed around.
Step into my world, baby. Step into my world.
So unfortunately, I done purchased without I wasn't intending to, but hey, today was a
Let
good
me tell
day.
you something, man. When you get to Nashville, you're gonna be happy you got that 1911.
So what's going on? Who that, babe? What's going on? Carbon Q. What's going on, Erica?
Erica, I'm trying to get Erica right now. I'm throwing down on the grill real quick out here in the sunshine.
Man, I wish I had that sunshine. What's up, Devereaux? I ain't talked to everybody. Make sure I talk to everybody. And Coy.
And peace to everybody out there. I can't see nothing. Erica got the chat over there, but I can't see nobody right now. So, right, but peace to everybody on this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, a guy by the name of AJ came through, man. He actually lives in Michigan, so we definitely gonna do that again, man. But I had a good time, man. Me, Roadblock, and AJ hooked up today. And all the fellas and had a good time at the range.
Yo, I hope you learned from some things from Roadblock. You know, he got them pointers, man. Those simple things that you could change, have you running right.
Yeah, I kind of talked to him about it, but we gonna hop in. I wanted Billy to jump in this. He seemed to be my favorite person to jump in, other than my co-host, when it comes to like serious things. And today it comes from, how does social media impact the misuse of guns in our community? And I'm talking about the incident. I'm sure everybody has seen it. It's been around. I don't know if they took the video down yet off Facebook Live, but it was the female cousin in the bathroom with her cousin. And she assumed that it wasn't any bullets in the firearm. She said that ain't no bullets in here. Then she proceeds to say, well, keep playing with me, I'll blow your head off. Well, unfortunately, what she said became true. It was an incident. Yeah. I don't believe she meant to kill her cousin, but it's the fact that we got these kids hopping on social media, getting the wrong idea and getting the wrong misconception of firearms and think they are a game. Playing with firearms is not a game. Ultimately, she ended up, after being startled and really the shock of actually her pulling that trigger and then actually going off and see her cousin drop like that. Yeah, she took her own life. I did a video about this. I don't understand how you have guns in the house and you so-called say, I keep them from my children. I did a video of that on YouTube probably about a couple months ago. It's been at least almost a year. But I don't understand that concept with firearms and children in the household and they not knowing, or you're not teaching them. Once they get to walking and talk, they need to at least know what this gun does and sit down with them and get them an explanation of why you don't want to pull the trigger. Because once she pulled that trigger and she shot her cousin in the back of the head, she couldn't take that back. You can't go back and take something back once you pull a trigger. And I just don't understand how parents are having firearms or relatives are having firearms in the home, and then in the same breath they say, well, they don't know I have firearms. Your children do eventually. Once they get old enough, you're going to slip up and that gun is going to show some way, somehow. Children are not stupid. They're very observant. They might not say nothing to you, but they're very observant human beings. What's up, Real Deal? What's going on, Patrick? But that's where
So people have to
we're.
start. Am I choppy? I feel like I might be choppy. Am I?
You're a little choppy, yeah. Well, go ahead.
Yeah. But people have to realize that it's a very slippery slope when you start to bring firearms into a home. And I'm not talking just children. I'm talking about
Yeah.
your entire household. You have to understand that when you purchase a firearm or you bring one home, and either you're already proficient or you're just getting into it, you're doing it for everybody.
Absolutely.
Everybody in that house should be taking the same steps in that process as you are.
What's what?
It's
What's my
reality,
turn?
and I've had the experience personally with somebody in my family, and he purchased a firearm during early pandemic and completely doesn't want people to know about it. Doesn't talk about it with his wife much. Doesn't The kids don't know he has it in the house, and I try to convince him all often. Even this past Saturday, last week, I said, hey, bro, I got an opportunity for you to come out and just walk around a place. We're doing an event. Oh, bro, I ain't ready. I ain't ready, bro. It's in like 2 years now, and it's so difficult, man, because when you look at what can happen when you don't train,
Don't
you got to take them out
educate
the
me.
range, but you
You
have to
don't
educate.
educate.
You know,
You have to educate
when I was a
everybody in the
kid,
house. Yeah. Go ahead, Billy.
definitely. When I was a kid, my uncle had uh, a German Shepherd named Cocaine. Real story, straight up. And
Go.
he had the dog in the house, but he didn't want nobody in the house to know the dog. He didn't want the dog to be friendly with anybody. My little cousin opened that door one day, and that dog tore my cousin up. I said, that's the same instance, man. These things are generally waiting to, fall in the wrong hands. And if you're not familiar, if you're not well versed, or just even scared, you're gonna end up in the bathroom looking in the mirror, making a video, and making a mistake.
Absolutely. And I do really do agree. And the reason why I say
Definitely.
social media and I want to really clamp down on social media is because the children have so much access with the tip of their fingers. Um, we didn't have computers and stuff where we could, if we needed information, we could instantly go to the computer and find out what we needed. Um, I was too busy outside running, playing.
Hey, Skilly,
That's what my, go ahead.
I'm jump out real quick, hop on my other phone, and jump back in.
Okay. But we have to, and to me, like Billy was saying, oh no. Like Billy was saying, that's even with dogs. You got a family. You don't want your family to know that you got a dog, but as soon as somebody come over in the family and enters that particular room with that dog, then you got an incident with now the dog is mowing your family. So to me, it's the same instance with firearms. When you're dealing with firearms and you have children in the household, to me, you have to educate the children about the firearm, whether it's sitting down, making them, you and them watch videos, um, or even just unloading the magazine. And I just tell you how I kind of desensitize my children from really being curious about firearms. My daughter has been around firearms her whole life. My son is 12, so my son didn't really see firearms until he was the age of 3. Because I've been carrying for 9, going on 10 years, so he'll be 12 this year. So he was around 2 years old when I started really getting into firearms. My daughter is 8, so she's been around firearms her whole life. My daughter when I used to carry her, she used to reach down at my gun. she was always reaching for my gun. So one day, once she got old enough to walk and was able to talk, I set them both down. I emptied the clip out, so no live rounds in the gun, no live rounds around us, and I let them both hold my gun, my pistol. They said, "Dad, why is your pistol so heavy?" I said, "Because this does damage. You see the weight between your Nerf guns, and you see the weight of my guns." I said, "There's a real big difference when it comes to what mine can do and what yours can do." And ever since that day, I have not had a problem with leaving a gun around the house to where they're curious enough to go, "Hey, well, let me see what this do," because they know what it does. They understand the gravity of a weapon. So that's how I'm sorry, mag. I'm sorry. What's up? You're correct. Mag. I took the mag out, empty it, put it back in, let them hold it, and they really realize how heavier my pistol is compared to the Nerf guns that they play with. And I haven't had a problem with them just picking up my gun. Now, when their cousins come, that's a whole different story. They don't know nothing about guns. They're not around guns. So when they're in my home, I put my guns. Anything that I don't have on my hip is locked away in my safe. So I don't have that problem. What's going on, Hot Tub Tony? If y'all want to get in here, man, we are talking about the incident with the young man getting shot in the back of the head by his female cousin because of the perception of what they see on social media. So we're tackling the social media aspect of that situation. And that's what it is. We are letting social media raise our children. You know, children can't live without a phone. They lose their phone, they done lost their lifeline. Almost like somebody that killed them. You know, I can go a couple days without a phone. My farm life consists of guns around here. See, and he was in a controlled environment, you know, so and that's always good to be around. Oh, my bad. I thought he was in there. All right, you back.
All right.
So
I'm back, my normal spot.
So that distinction of letting social media, and I don't necessarily want to say raise our children, but not talking to our children, let social media talk to our children. And a lot of people don't know, but I'm gonna say it. A couple weeks ago, and only a couple people knows this, and I only shared it with a couple people. My son decided to run away. Reality check that I had to deal with, and that's just what it is. And that's why I had to stop, slow down, not get mad at him, but try to understand where he's coming from. And that's the same thing with guns. You have to, and I try now to talk to him about every other day to see how he's doing and how's everything going. I make that my priority now to make sure me and him are communicating at least every other day. And that's what I mean by social media. He's always on the game. He's always doing something with technology. He doesn't. It's my job to make sure that I'm on him or talk to him, and making sure
and reconnect
with him.
And he's definitely at a delicate age in life. And it's weird because a lot of what we went through as children, we're not faced with the same items, the same technology, the same social life that our children
are faced with now, and it's new to us. So don't beat up on yourself if you're not doing so well, but understand that you have to catch up on what's going on in these kids' lives and know what to bring knowledge to, or what to block from their exposure. And you can't block the world, but there's definitely some things that you are hip to, as adults, and you don't want them to find out in the streets,
Absolutely.
at a friend's house, at a cousin's house. So take your time, man, and it's so valuable, especially in the two-way world, the stuff that we are exposed to and that we have the ability to teach. And some of us feel like they'd rather hide it under the carpet. And man, you don't have to take your kid out there, teach them how to be a sniper, but sit down with them on the couch and show them some videos, show them some things. My dad, when I was ready to be an adult, my dad showed me the nastiest stuff he could show me. Pictures. This was when it was magazines and stuff. He's like, you see that right there? That girl has got this. You see that right there? That guy didn't know the girl. Now he's got this. And I don't know if you ever seen a blue waffle, man. Changed my life. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff, man, that you can go ahead and scare them with. Show them the effect. This is what happens when you mess up and play games or think you want to be an adult. This is what you're faced with, bro. Or young lady, and you scare them a little bit. It's fun because you can walk away and giggle.
And you know what? That's since my kids have been young, I didn't show them the aspects of gun until later, but I was always big on the company that they keep. So I like to watch a lot of crime shows. That's my thing, crime shows and how to live off the grid, like Mountain Men and the other one where they live in Alaska and they do a lot of their hunting. So I do a lot of Discovery Channel and a lot of cop stuff. So I always show them the consequences of hanging out with the wrong crowd. You may not know what they did earlier, or they might go somewhere and you might be in the car. They might do something now. You got to take that L right along with them. So I always show them what they need to look out for as far as people that they're hanging out with. But as far as the gun world, I'm just now getting them. They've been known about the guns, but I'm getting my son more into the safety thing and how to learn. His birthday is in September. He'll be 12. So his gift to me is we're going to go to the range and shoot off a couple to get him familiarized with what it does. He knows what it do, but he doesn't know what it does. So that's my next step with him. My daughter's 8, so I got a little bit more time with her, to get her up there. But as far as my son, I got to get him to the range so he can know the sound effect, and eventually the damage that it can do. So that's my next step with my son.
Yep, and you never know, man. These kids sometimes they catch on, and they love it for the sport of it. They appreciate it. They want to get better, more proficient. Might be better than us. There's a lot of youth shooters out there in the two-way world. And but yeah, man. But back, mainly with the subject at hand is a lot of these kids, and I'm gonna ruffle some feathers today with this conversation, but it's just a reality. A lot of these kids, they want to. I learned a phrase the other day. I think it was called fronting or stunting for the gram, whatever it is. They want to look good. They want to look good. They want to look, like they about it in some fancy way. And oftentimes, cars, sneakers, guns, those are the flashy look at me type of items, or they just want to post up with it. If it's not theirs, if it's their brother, the father's, or whatever. And you got to realize a lot of times the influence that they're getting is from a lot of people that we support, and it's a harsh reality. Now, like I said, man, I'm gonna upset some people with my opinion on this, but there's a lot of people. What's up, Real Deal? His Wi-Fi worse than mine was earlier.
JBTAT, what's going on, brother?
Job baby. So understand this, and I'm gonna put this as nice as possible. There's a lot of people in our 2A community that are doing things wrong, making it look fun for the kids, and we still support them. We still, we say they're, oh yeah, you seen this new gun, and we're blinded the same damn way by social media. But there's some things that you have to sit back and be like, nah, man, bro, that's not right. That's not right. That's not the way you handle a firearm. That's not the perception that you want to give off when you're handling these firearms. Now, I ain't talking about everybody's gonna go out and be all technically trained up, chest, no. But you have to understand that the ones that these kids are looking at they think it's really cool. Sometimes it's not. I do have to give props to some people that are huge, that still look like the type of people that your kids might hang around or look up to, but they're doing things the right way. Shout out to GHG, shout out to Black Rambo. There's a lot of people that are doing it the right way that still, don't look like, some major army general. They look like us. But there's some people out there that's just holding it all crazy, shooting at the woods, like not knowing who the hell is back there, if anything, an animal or a person. And they're following this crazy. And some of us are so caught in the hype of YouTube and Instagram that you don't sit back to criticize it and be like, yo, bro, you got my nephews and nieces looking like that's the cool thing to do. And what I do is corny. I go to the range with my ears, with my eyes. I go to the range with my bag, my range bag and all that. It's not entertaining to them. I'm not doing no craziness. I'm not doing nothing that's like, yo, it looked like, oh, that looked like crazy fun or whatever. I'm doing it the right way. But also, I don't know if anybody looks at my videos and ends up getting hurt after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the biggest.
So I can live with being corny as long as nobody dies from, what I'm putting out there, my message per se. So what I'm saying to everybody is, yo, if there's somebody that even a video, even a rapper, and you think he's dope, a musician of some sort, you think they're dope, and they're doing that stuff that's getting the wrong message across, stop. Let it go. Let it go.
Absolutely.
Because unless we promote them, unless we watch what they're doing and views and et cetera and likes and all that bullshit, they'll fade away. But niece and nephew gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got to big up and grow up and decipher on what's good. And and some people in our world ain't at that maturity level. Some people in our world are still, young and jumping around, but you gotta draw the line sooner or later, and that's a reality. I don't care who says, sees, or whatever. That's just a damn reality.
But you're right.
There's some dumb shit on social media. And some dumbass grown people supporting it.
Yeah, I have a nephew, and also my son as well. And like you said, you won't say nothing till it's yours. Out there doing something crazy, end up getting yourself in some major trouble. Then you want to speak up. So we definitely have to draw that line in the sand when you're seeing something that you disagree with. You pull them to the side, like, hey, that might be cool to them, but that ain't the way you do things when you're handling a firearm.
Yeah,
I can show you how to handle a firearm properly before you go out there and do something foolish because you're looking at a rap video.
Yep. And a lot of people try to, I have this argument every other day. Nah, they just being real. That's what's in their community. Keep that shit in your community, bro. Because the more you let the cat out the bag, other communities become that.
Yeah, it becomes. It's
if my community safe, I don't want them listening to your song. I don't want them listening to your song and think that's the way it's gotta be.
Right. It's almost like an infection.
Just keep it low. Like, don't get fame from that. There ain't no merit in that in my direction. You might sell your records and all that, but as long as my kids ain't listening, I'm doing my job because they be on some foolish shit, just because it rhymes. Yeah. I can't fuck with it. I can't support it.
Yeah, I couldn't either. If you want to, brother, I'm gonna drop this link. he another brother that I enjoy. His point of view on a lot of things. One of my mentors, one of my OGs, especially Hot Tub, man. I love how he articulates his very well. So if you want to jump in here, come on in, brother. But
Yeah, man.
we definitely have to call, like you said, most of these people out because they're affecting our children. And the reason why I say our children in our community is because in the white community, they are teaching their children at a young age. Matter of fact, I was looking at Mountain Men. This young lady, she became a sharpshooter in the army. 5 years she crafted in the army. Now she does where she's at. Her daughter is 11, 12. Is out there hunting with her mother. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that type of stuff with our children. Our children is learning from social media rather than us sitting down and showing them the reality of things.
Yep. It tells you something.
What's going on, Skilly? What's up there, my family? Billy, what's going on?
Hot tub full of money. What's up, big baby?
Ain't that bad. Hey, bro, you hit the nail on the head, but I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
Who, Skilly? He's an intelligent brother. Me, I'm bullshitting. Light-skinned people bullshit. I be just.
But and that's
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna turn on some.
A lot of our white counterparts, you don't see their children doing the crazy stuff with the guns, other than maybe a mass shooting here and there. But as far as them playing with a gun, hearing them at home, somebody getting shot, it's very rare with them. Because
yo, I'm mad how you flew past that, Skilly.
What?
He said maybe a mass shooting here, a regular Saturday. Oh man.
I gotta give you perspective on that, Skilly, what you just said. Because they do it. And they do it at the same rate that we do it. Dumb shit. It don't matter what culture, what race.
Absolutely.
Dumb shit.
Our problem is our dumb shit is highlighted, and that's twofold.
Oh yeah.
It's highlighted because it's an active agenda that's portraying our culture in a certain type of way, and also because we are the culture of America. We are the most influential people.
Yeah.
Everything we do, everybody copies. The world copies. So we're kind of a victim of our own success in that respect. But it is an active agenda to give us a certain portrayal and image when we're looking at that. Right. For every dumb action like you saw, that was a horrible accident that happened. Hey mom, but it happens in every community. It happens with every group of gun owners have these same issues. And I don't know like I say, it's reasons why our faults are highlighted the way they are.
Oh, absolutely.
And you've heard me say this before. I said, stop falling into that narrative. Yes, there are some among us that are every stereotype that they say about us, but they are the outliers. Now, as it relates to this issue with the gun ownership, it's incumbent on us because, by and large, we are newer to this two-way community than a lot of other established communities are. We're going to have to push that training. We're going to have to push safety more than that should be our main focus. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I hate when I see stuff like this, but don't ever think it's just us.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It ain't just us.
Most definitely. But I think with the social media, like you said, we are more highlighted. As you said, real deal. What's going on, real? Oh, if you come on. What's up, real deal?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, we good.
Hey,
you can go ahead. You got something to say? Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, I was just gonna go off of what a little bit of what Hot Tub was talking about. He was saying that things are highlighted more in your community, in the Black community, because you're newer to the, your community is more newer into the gun culture than other communities. And I think one of the reasons that is because the powers that be don't want you in the gun community, because that takes a huge voting block away from them, right? If they can have the Black community scared about guns and not having guns and making the next generation afraid of guns, you'll vote the way they want you to vote. And you'll do, you know what I'm saying? You'll follow into the anti-crowd and stuff, and you'll push their agenda. By you guys leaving that group and breaking off and doing your own thing, you're taking power away from them, and you're putting the power back to yourself.
Well, a lot of
And
that is
they don't like that.
a lot of that is we're no longer looking to politicians to solve our problems, because they have shown us time and time again that they're not interested in helping us solve our problems. So when you start to look at your
Yeah.
community and look inwards
And
for your solutions, that creates a problem for, let's just call it what it is. It creates a problem for the Democrats. Now, what we're running into on the political side is that we're not being embraced by the Republican Party either. So we don't have no friends in politics at all.
Right.
And once we realize that,
Well,
and start to leverage
time
our
for a
vote,
third party.
huh? Go ahead.
I said it's time for a third party.
Yeah,
That's true.
that
That's
may
true.
be an option. But
Because when you only have a two-party system, they control the game.
Yeah.
I look at it like this. I don't believe in a lot of the stuff that I was always taught by my mother and her generation. Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. But when I look around my community and I look at what that vote has gotten us over the last 50 years, I'm very disappointed with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hold these politicians accountable. I say, what have you done? I don't look at John Lewis as, and I know I'm gonna catch a lot of pushback, but y'all not from Georgia, so you don't know his history. I don't look at John Lewis as a civil rights icon. You got your ass whooped on Edmund Pettus Bridge 60 years ago. That does not make you a hero. I look at your voting records over the last 40 years that you've done for the state of Georgia. You have done absolutely nothing. I look at your past. You were a crackhead. And I'm tired of people pushing these type of individuals as our icons. They are not our icons. Absolutely not. Your icon is that man that's in your household that raises that child every day.
Yes, sir.
That's who we should look up to.
Yeah, my dad
Me
is my
our
icon.
communities that are doing the work, that are out there hands-on with the children in the community. You know, but these are the guys that are not highlighted. These are not, you know, that's the unglamorous side of it. So our solution will never come from a politician. It'll never come from a vote. It's going to come from us standing up and taking back and reclaiming what was lost to us. And part of that is our 2A rights. We are a very pro-gun community, historically. But somewhere along the way, it was lost. So and it's good to see that we're regaining that. But we have to teach our children, don't be afraid of them.
Yep.
But don't glamorize them.
Don't glamorize them at the same time. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Know what they're used for and when you need to use them.
Exactly.
Yep. And that's where a lot of us are falling short, and it shows. It shows just about every week on whatever social media platform that pops up, on the news, etc. It's because we're not educating ourselves fully. We're not doing it in a responsible manner, and then we're bringing it into a home with 4, 5, 6, 7 other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Then you hide them, and then once the kid get the gun, you know, there go your accident, because you got the gun at the bottom of the closet, wrapped up in some clothes. It's not locked up, and you call yourself hiding them from your children. Well, when he get it, he's gonna be curious. Well, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
She end up shooting herself or shooting a cousin, man. It happens all the time.
Yep. Mm-mm-mm.
But like I say, And shout out to, guys like yourself and Billy and Tim Mill. Y'all, we're educating the children. We're educating our peers, our family on this, to help them understand, like, look, I ain't out here on some gang banging type shit. This is for protection for my family. And in protecting my family, I have to make sure that my family also knows how to use these firearms. Mm-hmm. That they're just as proficient. Yeah. That they're just as safety conscious about it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You know what's crazy?
What's going on, brother?
What's up, brother?
So you know what's crazy is the people that are in this chat, the people that are on this panel, I don't care if y'all see this, because I trust y'all already feel the way I feel. It's the ones who are gang banging. It's the ones who are in the streets being irresponsible that I hope we reach, that I hope come across this video scrolling through. You should hashtag Skilly when this gets posted. You should hashtag something that's going to come across somebody, like Hood Stories or whatever thing that can get this in front of more people, man. I think I'm gonna start doing that, because I don't care if y'all see it. Y'all feel the way I feel.
Absolutely.
It's the people out there in the streets that's doing it wrong. That's like church members. Y'all gonna go to church, be in front of the pastor, and be the same. Y'all don't need God like somebody else need God. Bring that church out into the streets and see who need it. See who be impacted and affected by it in the best way to change your life. So yeah, man, I hope some gangbanger sees this video.
Billy, the only way they're gonna see it is we got to be present in those communities. If you still live in those communities, be present in them communities. If you pro 2A and you up here preaching safety and all of that, you got to, at some point, you can't be scared of your community. Got to venture outside your house.
Absolutely.
And start talking to others in your community about it, and it'll catch on. Because the more you talk to them, they're going to talk to their friends about it. They partner coming to your house. Hey, let me sit you down and explain some things to you. You know what I'm saying? Monitor your kids' Instagrams. Monitor your kids' Facebook. That you got to be proactive with this.
It makes sure when you and I'm real big on my son and my daughter. Let me meet their parents. Let me meet the kid. You got to, because they are in the stuff that you don't know unless you involve yourself. Like I said, with my son, I had to sit down and really think about what he was saying. He was saying, "Dad, you're not there." They go on vacations. They got the life that I didn't have when I was a kid, but that ain't what he want. He want me. So I had to sit down and really think about what he want, not why he wants it, but what is he really saying to me?
I like what the panel's saying as well, but a lot of points need to be, clarified. A lot of the history needs to be told for what it is. We've always been pro-2A in our community because we understand the need to be able to protect ourselves outside of local police forces and state police forces and federal police forces. So I can go back in my family to the early 1900s and talk about responsible gun ownership, just like responsible parenting. I can go back and see and put my hands on people who were teaching, their family members in the community how to shoot, how to be responsible, how to carry, and how to, sometimes stash firearms, because in some places we weren't allowed to have firearms. So you had people talking about having gun caches like it's something new. We were doing that stuff back in Turtle, Texas. Back in the day, they had a place where, you can go out here to this location and dig up your stuff if something popped off. You can get that old shotgun. It may not have been cutting edge weaponry, but we have a history of doing that. We have a history of teaching our kids in our community of how to protect ourselves. So we have to reclaim some of that and correct some of those narratives, because a lot of times we're seen as, the poor victims and the left side, or the Democrats take advantage of that. You guys can't defend yourself, let us help. No, we can take care of us. We don't need you to help us. We just need you to stay out of our way. And we don't need the right wing to come out and do anything. We just need you to stay out of our damn way and let us do what we need to do. So we need to reclaim some of those narratives. Everybody in my family have always had firearms, and from a young age taught us how to responsibly use them, demystifying them. And yeah, I grew up in South Central Los Angeles with gangbangers, this and the other, but I understood, okay, there's a right way and a wrong way, and kids are going to make choices. And as a parent, my dad and my uncles taught me the right way. And if I had friends, when they came around, he taught them too. So we need to do those same things. Like the brother said, how Tony said, if you have people who you could put your hands on, it's your responsibility to teach them the right way. They may not take it in, but it's in there. And at some point, it may click.
Back around, yeah.
So it comes back around. So each one of us, need to do those things, and it grows from there. But I'm tired of this victim mentality that gets pushed on us and gets portrayed. I'm tired of this irresponsible black male thing that gets put out there, because every time I look in these chats, and you too, brother, we try to say like men are not this or not ain't about shit, or we're not doing things that are responsible. I look at the way you guys are interacting. Nobody's perfect, but you're interacting with your families. You're there. You're trying to do the best you can, and nobody is perfect. So we have to change that narrative and stop letting people start generating our own narrative, a truthful narrative, because the media is not going to do that for us. So we have to continue to be examples and continue, do the right thing. It's not that damn hard. And we can't allow them to continue to put all this negative bullshit on us and negative portrayals. We know we're not about that. Like Billy said, we know everybody in here is feeling the same. But if we can get our hands on these young people, if we have organizations, and that's the one thing we have to start pushing. We need to have organizations and institutions. Look in your area for organizations and institutions that you can either work with or contribute to or help protect, because that's the way they get us. This 1 and 2 thing is good, or reaching out to you can have, but until we can build organizations now like NAGA that are promoting us. We need, even if you don't agree, we need to allow those organizations to grow and build something. And then maybe the offshoots of this, that, and the other, if you want to do something a little different, but at least allow some base organization, get a foundation built that we can build on. Because that's why we're always getting our stuff torn down and rebuilding, getting our stuff torn down and rebuilding, getting our stuff torn down and rebuilding. We need to be able to come together on something, protect it, let it grow, so that we can, continue that forward progress instead of taking 1 step forward, 3 steps back. So that's just my thoughts on it. I love what everybody is saying. I love that everybody in here and the people that aren't on here are thinking and voicing these ideas, not just, talking about it. They're living it. I know all y'all are living this shit. I know it for a fact. I can see, Alex, when he comes on, respectful, this, that, and the other, but he's out there. He's watching Billy. He's, listening to his mom. Skilly, you interact with your son. I see that you are trying. You are putting that energy in there, and that doesn't go for naught. That you may not see, you may not feel, but you're putting that, and they see and feel that. I'm thinking back with my dad. He's still with us, thank God. But the lessons that I didn't really know were lessons in, I think back and all of a sudden, like, damn, I hear it in my head. So continue to do those and continue to push that.
Kids,
man.
BP.
Well, it's like
BP.
that saying, you may plant the seed. You may not see it grow, but you planted that seed.
Facts, 100%. And the water may come from somewhere else, and the sunlight may come from somewhere else, but that seed is planted. You've done that first step to allow something to grow and blossom. So I think it's, a wonderful thing. We just got to keep on, keep doing what we're doing, and not, let a lot of this other stuff, distract us and keep us off of our mission, because we have a mission. Everybody's placed on this earth for something. Once you determine what that is, you just do that.
That's right.
Go ahead, Hot Tub. I know
Go
you.
Sorry, man.
Nah, you good. I kind of I agree with most of what you said, but as far as our organizations, and I will say this, and before I'm gonna preface this, I'm a member of several different fraternities. I'm a member was a former member of the NAACP, a former. I've been in a lot of black organizations.
Same, brother. Same, 100%. I know where you're going.
What I've noticed about a lot of our so-called organizations is that they've gotten so far from what they say that they're about that they've outlived their usefulness. Now,
I agree.
Is it some good that they do? Yes, but by and large, they are not speaking to the issues of our community the way that they should be. And when an organization does outlive its usefulness, it's time to let it go.
Well, I agree. Like you said, a lot of times our leaders are picked for us. Like, God bless Reverend Jesse Jackson. I didn't vote for that Negro. I didn't vote for him. I don't remember a ballot coming out and saying, because I would have white people come and say, what about your leader? Just that Negro ain't my leader. I didn't see a ballot come across nowhere.
We don't have a leader. We never had an election to say this person is dictated to lead us.
Exactly. And that's a weakness anyway. We see how when we have a single point of leadership, how that can easily be taken out. And like you said, we have to hold these organizations, every organization to task. Every single one. So like you said, NAACP, I was a member of that. There's no mas. I was involved in a lot of other organizations as well. So we have to hold them to task, monitor them, hold them accountable, give them a chance to correct themselves. And if you heard me say it earlier, allow them to grow this and the other. And if they're not fulfilling the need, you go on to something. You don't no longer support it. You don't support your oppression. You don't pay people to keep you oppressed or hold you back. So, and you have to it's an active process. And a lot of times people say, okay, I'm in here, it's good, we're set. No, it's an active process. You have to monitor and take feedback and look at the data and say, hey, is this fulfilling the need? Is this doing any good? And that's with everything in life. So we have to be proactive and active in those organizations and monitor them. So use them for what they're supposed to be used for. It's the same thing as martial arts. I've taken multiple martial arts. I have black belts in all of them, but there's no one perfect system. You take what works with you out of each one of those that work for you at that time, and you leave the rest of the crap alone. Same with these organizations. If they're on point and do what they're supposed to do, you support them. If not, and I like what Billy said too, a lot of these, rappers and this and that and the other people that are out here doing this stuff, portraying negative images, stop supporting their ass. You don't got to go out and, you ain't shit. Stop supporting them. Stop viewing them. Stop supporting organizations that support them. Follow the dollars. Look where these monies are going and coming from. So if Sony is backing this artist, okay, find out where Sony dollars are going, where they're going. Don't support it. Vote with your dollars. Vote with your time. Vote with your energy. Look and use those things that you have control over for your benefit. Don't support your oppression. So a lot of these things, we can actively take control of those. We can't change those organizations. That's something we don't control. We can't control that. But hey, we can control those dollars.
My money.
Control those images that are in our house. We get put in our kids' minds. We can control, a lot of other stuff. So that's I'll stop talking because I can go on forever.
Nah, you absolutely right. We got to understand that we don't need a centralized leadership. No race of people. You can't say who's the Asian leader, who's the Hispanic leader.
Right.
And we don't need one either. As long as you're on code and your movement and your message is your message is the movement. As long as you are operating on code and you're operating within the agenda that benefits your race, your society, you'll be all right. Yeah. But I think a lot of, like you say, you can hold the organizations accountable, but it's time to stop. It's time to step away from these legacy organizations.
I agree 100%. But the reason is they're getting monies from that.
That's all it is. It's a money game. They are robbing our communities, and that's why I'm so hard against organizations.
Yeah, I've been involved with some good organizations and some bad ones, and typically the ones that aren't funded from the outside are the ones that are probably doing the most good, but it's harder for them to do that. And the ones that are big and have this grandiose, platforms, and they're on CNN and they're on this and that and the other. Typically, I'm not saying 100% of the time. 100% of the time, they're doing that for the benefit of themselves and the organization and profit making and the politicians who back them. So, you can kind of peep the game if you just look.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Follow the money. The money trail always lets you know what your organization, what a person actually believes in. Where a person puts their money is what they truly believe in, no matter what they say.
100%. So
what's going on, Reddy? What's going on, Lewis? What's going on, Jack? What's going on, Chris? I'm sorry, y'all had to shout them out.
No. Shout out to everybody. So we got to be critical thinkers in everything, man. We don't have the luxury to be able to sit back and cruise on, our past laurels. Every day is a battle. Every day you're, a struggle. Every day you have to be critically thinking because You know, that's just the way it is. We can't lament about it. We just got to just handle our business, you know, whether it's on the micro level or the macro level. We have to just keep building and battling, you know. So that's just my thoughts. But I love the thoughts. I love that, you know, so many of us are out here voicing this and really not giving a damn what other people think, and realizing that, you know, if we don't stand up, you know, it's not gonna get any better. It's never gonna get any better. You know, so
A lot of the reason why we lost our children is that I hate to say it like that, but for the sake of this discussion, I say it like that. A lot of the reason that we lost our children was because we've let outsiders dictate our agendas.
Yeah.
We've let other people tell us, "No, you don't need guns in your community. No, we'll protect you." And then we've seen time and time again that we're not afforded the same protections as everybody else. It's time. It's well past time, and I'm seeing it, especially within the past. I go the past 6 years. I've seen us a change in the mindset of our people. And that we're understanding the games that have been played on our community. You know, a lot of it that we haven't had control of it, but a lot of it we have. And we've been complicit in that. We've allowed other people to put agendas on our children and say, "Oh, now you can't say this to your child. That's child abuse."
Yeah,
disciplining my child is child abuse. No.
Yeah, that's definitely been a big part of why we're losing our children. Because I know somebody said something to me. I was just out of my kid and I said, "Hold on. So you don't tell me what to do with my kid. That's mine. I tell mine what to do, and you mind your goddamn business what you need to do, and stay out of this. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This is mine. This is who I created."
Yeah, and that's not new. My 30-year-old, when I was a single dad, you know, one time I said something or she did something, and I said, Afi, if you don't, you know, do that, you gotta get pop-out. She goes, "Dad, if you spank me, I'm gonna call 911. I looked at her. I'm like, "Damn, I thought I raised you better than that. You gonna waste your one phone call on 911?
And like, when did that stop in school? Paddling 87, something like that.
Yeah,
definitely the late 80s. Yes.
Yeah,
the late 80s.
That was about right. Because it was in the 90s. I was a single dad. It was like,
then by like 92, it was illegal to touch kids, to beat them.
Yeah, I told you you better call Jesus because 911 ain't gonna be able to help you. But yeah, about late 80s, early 90s, they started pushing that agenda that
child abuse,
your kids, you can't say this to you. If they say this to you, come tell your teacher, tell your counselor. It's like, oh man, get through with that mess.
When you do that, when you tell a group of people that,
do you know it's legal?
Now, go ahead.
Go ahead, real deal.
Oh, do you know it's legal in California? If your 13-year-old daughter goes to school and tells the teacher, "I'm pregnant," legally that teacher could take your daughter to an abortion clinic and get her abortion without your knowledge.
Wow.
The school will never tell you.
Excuse me?
What kind of, man?
Yeah.
I was drinking my coffee.
In California, it's legal. If your 13-year-old daughter goes to
that can't be real. Come on, man. Really?
Yeah.
That can't be real.
Look it up. It's law. It's real.
But I dare to say that if
and they don't have to tell you or nothing.
If your 13-year-old daughter is pregnant and you don't know about it, you have a bigger problem than the school. But I mean, I see what you're saying, and it's a lot of agendas being pushed on our children. I don't agree with it. And I'm routinely on my school board out here, and they know me very well.
And that's a good thing right there. I'm guilty of not doing that. I need to get more involved in that. I do go to the local school because my son goes to a science and engineering academy school, which is pretty good. So I'm involved in that. But the larger school board, I'm not as involved in as I should be because we should need everybody.
We should be because there are many different active agendas that are being pushed that if you went to the school board and seen what they're voting on, on what they're allowing in these schools right now, it would enrage every single one of you. It don't matter what race or color.
Yeah.
You would
A
be
lot of
angry
stuff.
at what they pushing. And you know, I don't disagree with anybody. I say anybody, you can live the lifestyle that you want to live. But when it comes to what you teaching my child,
Right.
I have a say so in that, and I don't want my child exposed to certain things before I have an opportunity to put it in this proper context.
Yeah, that's just like when my son was in Head Start, I was very heavily involved in Head Start. And with Head Start, it was a government funded program. So you had to have parents come in and volunteer so many hours to get the money from the government. Well, I was on the parent committee board for the 2 years that he was there. The second year, I became the president. I was the first black father to become the president on the school, on the parent committee board, where you had to go over documents. I had to sign off on them. So I know what you're talking about, Tony, because it was fun because you got to learn what they do and how they do things.
Yeah.
And it was real educational for me because I found out how the system, how government funds certain programs through, you got to do so much to get so many government dollars. You got to volunteer so many hours in order to get the government dollars. So and then you had to vote on different type of stuff that was coming to the school.
It's a fact.
Read that stuff, and you had to. So I understood, and I understand what you're talking about, Tony. It's very important for us at some point to jump on one of their committees. And like I said, I was working full time, and also because I draw. So a lot of the little arts and crafts, the teachers, you will help the teachers, may cut something up or do something in class to help them out. So it was fun to me. I loved it as far as when I was in it.
And check your local nonprofit organizations. I was blessed to have OBU, Organization for Black Unity, here in San Antonio. Fantastic organization. It was a nonprofit organization, so they didn't have to accept any government funds. It was totally community supported. They had community outreach programs. They had a lot of things. We had the Lions Den Karate Club. We had the New World Learning Center. We had the Marcus Garvey Art Museum. We have all this stuff that's here locally funded by the grassroots people. So look in your areas, because there's a lot of times people doing a lot of positive things. And just because it was OBU, didn't mean it was only for black people. We had Latino, we had white students that went there as well. But it was an understanding that you were going to get a certain type of education there outside of federally funded. So you didn't have to teach certain things. It was science, math, and engineering based. So we were trying to get students up to speed and ahead of where they would be outside of public school system. So I put one of the first computer labs in there and taught there, as well as martial arts and other stuff there as well, with a lot of the other brothers and sisters in the community. So look in your area, start in your local area. If they don't have those programs, anything helps. If you're into drawing, just having an art program and get kids in there, you can get their ear. If they're interested in this, get their ear. You're into the football, Skilly. I coached football for a few years, and you'd be surprised how much help, how much guidance you can get the kids on that football field. They're looking for father figures. They're looking for, uncle, they're looking for somebody to just have a positive role model. If you have those things, so whatever skill you have, use that as a way to get involved with a lot of these kids. I still have, I was walking up the other day, I was walking down the street, and this big old brother, probably about 6'6", came walking. He's like, "Hey man, how you doing? Hey, Papa Robert," because that's used to call me. I'm like, "Whoa!" I saw this big brother. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, bro? You money? What's going on?" He goes, "You don't remember me? I'm Philip from the Lions Den Karate Club." And this was a big girl, and I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" I had to jump up and give him a handshake. He's like, "Yeah, I remember when you taught martial arts at the Y. That really helped me. I'm doing this, and the other. And it was a real positive thing." And it's like, so you never know, who you're touching and how that influences them. So take the things that you have. It doesn't take $1 million. Sometimes it just takes some time. Time. That's the most valuable thing you have. You can't buy more of it. So spending a little time wherever you can, just to, help somebody reach out, get involved in some of these programs that may not take a lot of, monetary inputs, but the time is what, and kids remember. I remember when I was growing up, Mr. Henry, and I was living in South Central Los Angeles, Deep South Central, and we moved to a better area of South Central, and that was from kindergarten to the 4th grade. And I was getting straight A's there. We moved to this other neighborhood, I was getting straight F's. And my dad's like, "Oh, they're not gonna do this, they're racist, yada da da. It's because he came from da da da." And they told him I read at a pre-kindergarten level. And I was like, he's like, "What? Robert, tell him what to do every day." And every day I went to school, the teacher would give me a piece of paper, tell me to write my name on it on the test. And if I wrote my name on it, I got an A on the test. I would just look out the window at I-10 on the freeway, look at the cars, melt wax from the wax cup and my pencils were in, melted on the heater. I did that every day for 4 years. And I was getting straight A's. So imagine, once I got older, I probably would have been in the gang. And if we were not involved in your kid's life or your niece's nephew's life, you don't peep those signs that kind of stuff is taking place. So being involved and listening to your kids, seeing where they are, and don't trust the school system, don't trust what other people are saying. You have to be proactive. So a lot of that does come back to us, and making sure, I know we all work, we all hustling, most of us, I know unless you're, somebody who, has a lot of money to be able to do what you want independently of, other finances, we have to all work. So that time is valuable. So I know. Well, but I work every day, so, we have to, do those things that we can and just look for those things and, try to make a difference where we can.
Yeah. And y'all, man, if y'all got time, man, especially in the summer, go by the libraries. A lot of towns might not have a boys and girls club, but if you do, go by there. There's always kids looking to get into something.
The boys club saved my life. Literally, my brothers and I live, for real.
I got one literally at the corner of my street.
Yeah,
I pass it every day going to work, and those kids are out there. There's a playground, that they let them hang out and throw football or whatever, and they're always looking for something to do. The library. My wife used to have programs at the library, and she would drag me in there because same thing with the art. I was always doing something cool, and she'd bring me in there and sit me in the back with 7, 8 kids at a table. I'm in my work clothes, dirty. I come out, all right, library time. We get to the library and start making some crafts, all that. And the kids, sometimes it's weird, they know you. Just like you bumped into. They remember. She went to took Alex and my niece to the barbershop the other day, and even the barber was like, "Oh yeah, I know your husband." Mind you, I'm not introverted, but I just don't know a lot of people because it's not a huge neighborhood. Tank, take it easy, Tank. But anyway,
yeah, he's on a
yo, you can make an impact. You can definitely make an impact.
One thing we're going to have to get back to doing is that we have a lot of talent in our community that is not passed down to the next generation. We have mechanics in our community. We have construction workers, builders, people that's in their trade, and we've steered our children away from the trades so much and pushed college.
Yeah.
Every child, and
not made
I
for
know
college.
everybody don't want to hear it. Every child is not
made
college material.
No, it's not.
And you know your child well enough. Now it's incumbent upon us, and I put everything I put on the men in our community. If you have a small business, start doing an apprenticeship program in the summer times. They've taken the summer camps, the free summer camps, away from us.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't need them to do it. Start snatching those kids up and put them in an apprenticeship program. If they fix cars, have them clean up the bay. If you cut hair, have them sweep the barbershop. But you're teaching them to trade as they go along.
There you go.
Give them other options, because those are going to be the business class. Those are the small business owners of the future. Because after you're gone, if you send every child that's in your household, you send them to college, your business is done. There is nobody to keep that legacy going.
Right.
But if you're teaching the next generation what you know, even if they do have the aptitude to go to college and do something else, they have something in their back pocket that they can always fall back on.
Yes, sir.
Can't take it away from them. You look at all these. Every time I drive San Antonio and I see, this plumbing company, this electrical company. I see this, all these businesses that are out here, and there's nobody. And I'm like, that's billions of dollars that's been left on the table because we don't have the opportunity or we don't have the infrastructure to kind of channel those people into those businesses and think of them as being valuable. But these are valuable businesses. Everybody, when your electrical goes out in your house, guess what?
Man, you can make some hell of money.
Your HVAC goes out, you go call somebody.
Yeah.
And you got to realize the impact that it's going to have on them as they grow and create their own family and lifestyle and all. They got to know how to do things. Mm-hmm. They got to how to maintain their own home and their vehicle. Mm-hmm. Oh, if you don't call them out there, Alex. Sorry, I'm not proving a point, but I'm proving a point. If you don't call them out there, man, they're not gonna. The trade itself is just gonna dwindle. Yeah. Hey Al, you gonna say hi? He's eating.
What's going on,
Alex? Young man? When I go out and fix the car, the brakes or whatever on it, what do I do? What do I ask you to do? Help.
There you go.
Get up under there. Al, pass me this. Pass me that. Mm-hmm. All right, it looks like this. All right, got it right here. Where's it go? He's up under there, man. And if you don't take your time out for your kids to teach them stuff, and I'm not bragging, I'm just showing you that regular ass people like me can do it. Yeah. And you're making such an impact in these kids' lives.
Not just your kids. You have to be willing to. They have friends. Exactly. One thing my mother did, and I give her credit on this. She did a lot of things wrong, but she never told me I couldn't be friends with somebody. But what she did do was set parameters on that friendship. Okay, you want to hang out with this person? All right. Mm-hmm. Well, y'all come over here and y'all gonna hang out over here and do this. And I had uncles and cousins that, okay, you see me and my partners in there playing the video game, or we playing with toys. Hey, y'all come out here and help me with this. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the stuff that I do know, that's how I learned it. I have partners right now come home dirty as shit. He's an electrician, master electrician, state certified. You wouldn't think that he was a multi-millionaire because if you look at him, he always in his work truck, he always in the work clothes. But he has multi-million-dollar contracts with some of these big buildings that they build in downtown Atlanta.
There you go.
But that's you don't know that. We don't know these things. We don't know that you don't have to go to college to make this kind of money.
But we have to get everybody off the bling bling tip and off the, I need to look this way. It's like, hey, we have to rearrange those.
You know what? I won't even take them off of that, BP.
You don't think so?
I would say this: you could have all of that. You can be shining if you want to have $1 million worth of gold chain on. I wouldn't. That's not a smart business move. That's not a smart financial move. Right. But you can have it. But let me show you how you can get it legally. Let me show you how you can get it during this.
You don't got to play ball. You ain't got to be a rapper. You can make those millions
right here.
Or
If you're showing them that way.
Yeah.
Like my son is going to school for HVAC right now. That's what really got him over the hump is not me telling. It's one of my best friends who does HVAC, and he came out with his 85 Monte Carlo, souped up, racing engine and everything else. And he asked him, I said, "Tell him how you got that." How I got this? Oh, I do HVAC, bro. Yeah, I do HVAC. I make $150. I make $200,000 in a good year. That got him thinking different.
Right.
You see him with all the gold chains on everything that's stereotypical. But they don't understand this man is a business owner.
Yeah. Right. But those are stories that need to get out. See, we don't in the mainstream media is not gonna ever, promote that. They're not gonna that to me, that's news. Somebody who got shot, that's one thing. But real news is gonna help somebody and touch somebody. And you see over the years how that has changed, how news has become a sensationalization of violence. Over a certain amount of time. It wasn't always that way. And when they, over time, the agenda changed. And so that's all you see. So we have to find ways to spread these stories like that.
We have ways right now. It's being done right now. Channels like yours, like Skillers, Billy, your channel. This is how you do. This is the counter narrative right here. Yeah, it seems like it's small platforms. If you have a million small platforms putting out the counter narrative, you have enough influence to counter what's being showed to you on a daily basis. We don't need them to put money behind us. It's money right here.
But how, like, say I'm in San Antonio. I don't know anybody in HVAC. How could I, what resources can I go to? Who can I call? Say, hey, if I have a brother, he's, getting ready to graduate high school. He doesn't want to do the college thing. How can we form networks where we can have, hey, go to this, site. Here's a list of people who are willing to work with you or tell you where to go. Because right now, I wouldn't even know where to send them.
Most electricians work off of they have a guild,
Okay,
a union.
all right.
You go to the union hall and ask, hey, do you have any? And they do it. They'll do it. Do you have any black electricians in my area? They'll tell you.
Okay.
And they can go to them.
You connect with them and say, hey, this is what my vision is. I would like to do something like a summership intern type program.
Okay.
Most of them be tickled pink to do that because nobody's asking them. Nobody. Yep. They love to show the next generation what to do.
And I just put something in my mind. I work in IT, and I could be doing stuff like that because a lot of times
absolutely could.
I'm the only person in the room. I'm like the only person look like me in a whole building. So it's like I need to be doing stuff like that. I need to do some stuff like that.
I mean, I do insurance now. I come from a logistics background, but I've gotten into insurance. And what I'm seeing from the insurance industry is that it does not require a college education. At 18 years old, you go and take a course, pass the state exam, and you have the potential to make up to $200,000 a year, and don't have to leave your house to do it.
The same with IT. My son, he just got his Java certification and his HTML certification in the 11th grade. There are people on our web team that don't have Java and HTML certification. And it's like, so a lot of times going to university is counterproductive because the books that they have are 5 to 6 years old. So the stuff that you're working on actively is already outdated. So if you go out and you get your certifications, you can get in the door and get, like you said, work your way up. So a lot of times, like you said, that college thing is a profit-making scheme.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Now, I put a caveat on that. If they have the aptitude and they are headed towards a field that requires that, by all means, push them to maximize their potential. I'm not anti-college, but what I am is I'm realistic about our situation.
Absolutely.
And all of us are not scientists.
When you go to college,
go ahead. Real deal.
I mean to cut you off.
Well, yeah,
well, you gotta say when you go to college, how many classes do you take that benefit you in what you're studying to get your degree in, and they make you take way more classes that you don't need in life.
Don't need. Yeah, I know somebody that's actually graduated from college about 3-4 years ago and not got a job in her field. All that money, ain't got a job in the field. She working at the airport.
$100,000 in debt.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's a lot of that is on us as parents because when we send them out there, we don't send them out there with a goal. We let them determine what they're going to do. A lot of other communities do not. I will say about one thing I learned about being around Jewish people. If there's a banking family, you don't have an option of what you're going to do. You're going to go to college and do this. And this is going to be your major, and you're going to come work for us.
Yeah.
And that I don't have no issue with that whatsoever. I think we need to start doing that. Or if you're a small business owner and you want to send your child to college to do something, send them to be an accountant. Have them do your books.
Do your books. Yeah.
Yep. Send
them. You need a lawyer. You need a contract lawyer. Have them do your contracts.
Yep. Whatever business is around them.
Yes. But that's nation building.
Yeah, my nephew just did that. He had gone to school for one thing, and his mom, she's in real estate and a lot of other things, was looking for a lawyer. And he said, I'm going to go get my law degree. And boom, 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 turn around and did it. So, we have the people who have the ability, the know-how, so we just need to, like you said, put those people in those positions that are going to benefit us in our community. So it's not that we can't do it. We just have to have focus. Like you said, other communities are doing it. We need to see the value of that as well. So, you know, I agree 100%.
CDL, guns don't argue. True butter. What's going on, fellas? Ready?
Ready, Reg.
Chris Stevenson, what's up, bro?
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Shout out to Chris. Chris lives in the town that I went to Head Start in Michigan, in Hillsdale. Back there in the cold.
Yeah. We were talking about the boys club. You know, the boys club was at a time my mom and dad, they got into some stuff. So basically, you know, us out on our own, and could have gone one way or the other, and ended up going to the boys club and hanging out there. Ended up getting a summer program, becoming lifeguards because we were both strong swimmers, surfers, and stuff like that. So ended up getting the job that paid extremely well. That led to this, that, and the other, but it kept us basically off of the streets and out of trouble. Because, you know, when you're 15, 16, 17 years old, you know what kind of mess you can get into, especially in certain neighborhoods. So, you know, I always give big ups, you know, to organizations like that, even though, you know, some people say, well, this, that, and the other about them. I know they saved me from, you know, having my ass in the streets. So, you know, organizations like that definitely get, you know, big ups from me.
Yeah. I dig it. And every community is different.
You know,
Every
back in the
community
day,
Go ahead, Real.
Go on, Real.
I always feel like I'm cutting people off, and I don't mean to. I don't mean to step on
Go
you.
ahead.
You know, back in the day, they used to teach proper gun safety in the Boy Scouts. You know, back in the day, they used to teach proper gun safety even in school.
Junior
They don't do that stuff
ROTC,
anymore
rifle team.
because it goes,
Exactly.
yeah,
on
goes against
campus.
their agenda today.
Yeah. I think that should be brought back. It would demystify guns and firearms. But again, the agenda has been kind of flipped. You know, they take those things out of there and demonize them. But yeah, on campus, with period, rifle team, go to Armory, check out this, that, and the other, and do your practice on campus with firearms.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have enough people in our community.
I know.
Go ahead.
Real deal got us.
Very good. I know a guy that grew up in Georgia, and he used to tell me that they used to go deer hunt before school and bring their shotguns, and the principal would check it, make sure they're unloaded, and they used to keep them in their school lockers, the shotguns, until after school. And then they go, you know, they go home and go hunting again and do the same thing the next day during deer season.
There you go.
Them days are way over with.
Yeah,
way over.
But that's one thing we don't need the schools to do it. We could do it ourselves.
Yeah, we should be doing that.
That's one thing I'm working on out here. As I have a lot of men in the community, and I salute them for that. But outside of the 3 police officers and myself, it's not a lot of men that are firearms trained. And I said that's a wasted opportunity when we have a range within walking distance of our neighborhood. So we're trying to institute. I'm working with the law enforcement guys to try to institute something to not only train the men and the women, but also the children.
We had 100
it
safety
is on the
stores.
level of everybody volunteers their time. I understand everybody working, everybody doing their thing, but it don't have to be the same people every day. We take a weekend. Hey, you got training this weekend. You got it next weekend. And that can be duplicated. We don't need institutions to do that. We could do that amongst ourselves. Now, it would be nice if these institutions came in and provided resources. We would appreciate it, but we don't need you when we have the talent to do it in our communities.
A basic hunter safety course, we had that at OBU, which is open to everybody. It's not a high bar for people to learn and be able to teach other people. So that's like you just said, we would have people come in, get the course, get certified to teach the course, and then teach a hunter safety course. That's something that can be done in an afternoon. And then everybody has, at least basic, safety. So I think I agree with you. That's something we need to really push and kind of promote more in our community.
But until that happens, y'all, like I said, I don't care if I make some enemies or just people who don't agree fully, stop supporting these knuckleheads out here that you know for damn sure are doing it the wrong way. They're showing these kids how pointing guns at cameras and twisting them and turning them to look good. I don't care if it's black, white, or anything in between, bro. They're not doing it the right way, man. Stop supporting them. Stop promoting their videos. Stop liking their stuff. You know, just make it not worth it for them, because that shit is getting back to us and kicking us in the ass, man. You know,
100%.
just stop, because the shit is corny.
You know who's a great promotional tool for doing it the right way and reaches a whole lot more people than anybody over on this panel could ever do? GHG Hustle.
GHG's the man.
Yeah.
GHG is and he talks to he's speaking to them on a level that it hit different when it's them telling us versus one of us. We're old.
Yeah.
All of us on this panel are old.
Well, y'all old. Y'all old.
Like I said earlier, when I don't know if you were in here when I went on my little, rant, and GHG was the one who I was like, there are people out here that still look like us. Maybe not me because I'm old, but that still pertain to within the community that are doing it the right way.
And not just him. I mean, we can go down. It's a bunch of them. Bucky, I don't want to forget him.
That's just an example. Yeah, he's a good example. Excellent example.
These young men are who the kids are going to listen to. Right. Let's be honest with you.
Well, that's why my son finally started going to the range with me. I was playing on GHG, one of his videos, and he kind of came, was looking over my shoulder, and I guess he said, "Oh, it's not just old dad out here doing this stuff, so let me get up on this." So, it speaks volume, when kids can see that, but then see it in a positive light, and he's funny too. But he, is still serious about, what he does, and it shows, in his training and stuff that he's, serious about it. And he's a family man too, and he, he has, a lot of good values, humble. So I think we got to agree with both. Yeah, we got to start supporting those that are doing that and promote that.
But to get a GHG, that's where we come in there.
Yeah,
like Billy, Alex, this next one up.
There you go.
BP, your son, my son. We're gonna have to groom the next GHGs so they can take the ball and run with it.
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna be us that they listen to, but Skilly, you too. Like it'll be our kids that are the generation that's gonna reach the children.
Plant them seeds, man.
Absolutely. And that's the first conversation I had with him with the incident, and I plainly handed him my gun. I ain't talked to him in a while about gun safety, but I said, "What's the first thing you do when I hand you a gun of mine?" He said, "What did he say?" He said, "Something, check it or something." I said, "No, you drop the mag and you pull the slide to make sure nothing is in the chamber." I said, "That's what you do. That's called gun safety. That's the first thing you do when you handle any type of firearm in this household." So I have to I got to remind myself, I'm so busy. I got so much going on. I need to I need to slow down. I'm trying to do my t-shirt business. I'm trying to do 2 YouTube. I did 2 4 times. So I'm all over the place. But I need to keep it going. I get off so much because I got so much going on. And then with this YouTube live stuff, I just got so much going on right now. But he forgot. He literally forgot from the last time me and him had a conversation about it. So I see that maybe once every 2 weeks, get him down, sit him down, and we need to go over this routine.
That's dope. Similar, I try to teach my son as much as I can, and I'm not saying you're wrong because every household is different, and I'm not saying I'm right. But the first thing that I tell my son is, what do you do when you see a gun? And the first thing that he does is get an adult.
Got to.
Off jump. He handles guns left and right. He cleans them. Like when we go to the range, he's the one who cleans them. And he likes to. But he won't clean them unless I give it. He'll break it down, take slides off, barrels out, and all that. Yeah. But we check it together,
So my son, he knows the 4 rules, and I drill him. Boom. State them. Give me all 4. You know, anytime he picks up a firearm, I'm like, okay, pick up that firearm. And he's gotten to the point to where it's automatically, boom, drop the mag, boom, check, boom, ching, boom. Okay, it's clear. But still keeping it pointing in the safe direction, even if you know it's empty, like you said. So it's just training. And I just think back, the same thing my dad did with me, you know, demystifying guns. When I was growing up, bringing my kids up, I didn't have toy guns. And when they would get, like, sometimes their friends would bring them over to play with, you know, I didn't snatch them out of their hands. I'm like, you know, we treat even toy guns like they're real guns. Don't point it at people. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know, so we just have to, you know, continually educate and, you know, encourage them to do it the right way. So it's a never-ending process. But again, you know, everybody on here has done that and believes in that. So that's a good foundation. That's a good start. We just got to keep pushing it, man. So
that's right. Because if you don't teach them, they're gonna. You know, I'll tell you a stupid story of what I did when I was a kid. One day I played sick, stayed home. My dad was at work. I was bored. I was going through stuff, and I found this 38. And so I put the holster on. I'm pulling it out. I'm doing the cowboy stuff, twirling it around my finger, cocking it and stuff. Next thing I know, boom, off in the house. Well, we lived in an apartment building. We lived in
You know why? You know why BT is smiling? Because he did the same damn thing.
I didn't twirl it. And it was a 357. But the stupidest thing that I did, okay, I didn't twirl it. I opened it up, but I was looking at the bullets, right? And I don't know if I told this story. God, I shouldn't even say this mess. And I probably was 6, 7. And we had a radiator type heater. So I was like, well, this explodes. So I wonder if heat will make it explode. So I took the radiator type heater. I put the bullet in the radiator type heater, dropped down in there and turned the furnace to full. And after about 10, 15 minutes, bam! And I timed it. I was like, I took this on. Let's do another one. I'm like, I did it like 3 times. And I was like, oh, damn, the gun's almost empty. So then I put it back, and my dad knew where the other rounds were, so I reloaded it so it was full again and put it back in my dad's drawer. But I thought back about that when I was an adult. I'm like, I could have blew up the whole damn house. How did you know that, Billy? How did you? Because you did it.
Well, see,
twinkle in your eye.
in my household, my dad didn't carry guns, so I didn't grow up around them. So when I became a gun owner, that's when I had to learn how to deal with, especially with children in the house. My daddy didn't own guns, so until I got to where I got my first gun, that's when I had to learn myself.
And kids will be kids. You know, that's why when my single dad again, I put up all my firearms because I knew she was one of those types that would, you know, always be into stuff. And so I had to take that safety to the next level. So we got to know ourselves, know our kids, and create that safe environment as we're teaching them as well, because we don't want those accidents like, you know, we saw, you know, last week. That's just something so tragic. It could have been prevented.
Could have been avoided. Yeah.
We don't ever. That's definitely just it hurt my heart to see that.
I couldn't finish watching.
It was
it was tough to see, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when the one brother came in and he's like, "Mom," and he ran out. You just hear the no, it's never gonna be the same after that.
No, that family is definitely not gonna be the same.
But yeah, we gotta you know, do our kids justice, you know.
Well, fellas, it's been an hour and 40 minutes, man. I appreciate you guys coming in, chopping it up with me. Definitely want to thank y'all guys for your opinions and y'all points of views for sure. Real deal. I want to thank you, man, for always coming in, being understanding, brother.
Love you, real deal.
You know, you're not black, but you definitely hang out with us, and you have an understanding and a good ear. And you know, we love you in here. You know what I'm saying?
You give a lot of
right.
you know, that we might not be experienced on or think about ourselves, you know. So it's always good to have your input, man. We appreciate that.
Hey,
Go ahead, real deal. You have something to say?
Well, I appreciate. You know what? When I found you guys and started watching you guys and talking to you guys, I just felt comfortable. I never felt like you guys looked at me differently. And as far as I'm concerned, you guys are my people. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
I appreciate you,
We're a
brother.
group. So
That's it.
Same here, brother.
Do that. And Hot Tub, I'm mad right now, brother, because you know I watch your hands, bro. When you talk, it makes me feel comfortable. I don't know. Hot Tub be like, well, let me tell you. Hold on, first.
You know, normally I would be on camera, but I got a lot going on in the house right now.
Yeah, that's all right.
But next time, I promise
you
you,
the
the
Ricky
hands
Bobby.
will be in place.
The Ricky Bobby.
There you go. There you go.
Well, like I said, man, greatly appreciated for you fellas coming on the panel with me, man. It's never lie with you guys. I do appreciate you taking your time out, rocking with me.
Most
now RGG is off Sunday nights. I believe Wild Wednesday. I don't know what they're gonna call it. They have switched over to Sunday nights. So definitely check out our brothers, and support them as well. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming through, hanging out with me and the guys.
Yeah,
but there's a conversation that needed to be happening in order to move forward to make it a little bit better for our children, man.
Most
definitely.
And it starts with us fellas. I'm just like Hot Tub Tony. It starts with us. Yeah. I'm not dependent on a woman. I'm not dependent on somebody at another race to do it. I'm dependent on us black men to step up to the next level, make sure our children are okay and safe at the same time. And I'm in real deal as well, him and his people, you know what I'm saying? He's still our brother at the same time. But, you know, we don't want nothing to happen to anybody, especially
no kids. Can't be losing my kids, man. Can't be losing my kids.
You know, no matter what creed, color they are, we don't want to lose our children that way. That was, as a father, I couldn't imagine coming to that door and my daughter and my son hitting that floor, and they're now gone because of not talking to them or not taking the time out to have them understand that you don't have nobody. I don't care if somebody is playing, you don't have nobody pointing a gun to your head. Period. We don't play with guns. We it's not a play toy. You know, and you're bound to get slapped if you point a gun at me. I don't play around with guns. Don't point a gun at me. I don't care if you think it's loaded, unloaded. You know it's loaded, unloaded. Don't point a gun at me.
Absolutely not.
It's nothing to play with. Whether you think it is, because she thought it wasn't no bullets in it, but at the end of the day, she found out that it was bullets in the gun. We have to not let social media raise our children. We have to be more active in what they are doing on social media, how they're doing, what they're doing on social media, who are their friends on social media with. We need to know that type of information so we know what we are dealing with when that time comes.
Yep.
And with that being, go ahead. Anybody got something to say? Go ahead and say it before I close out. I want to see if y'all got a final thought on what's going on or what y'all think. Go ahead and then I'll close it out.
Monitor what they're doing. Make sure you know what they're learning and who they're learning it from, and stop supporting people that are doing it the wrong way. Don't like it. Don't watch it. None of that. Don't talk about it later on. Let it dwindle out. Start putting what you're doing the right way in front of people.
Anybody else?
Go say be vigilant, be proactive, be involved. Agree with Billy said 100%. Don't support your oppression.
Tony, you got something to say? Real deal.
Men, step up. Start being that
and I would say
force in your community. Start being that vocal force in your community. Stop letting other people dictate the narratives for your community. If we step and put ourselves back in our proper place, everything will work itself out.
Absolutely. Go ahead, real deal.
You know, we get guns. We all get guns to protect our families. And part of that protection is protecting our kids from our guns. And so if we're going to take the opportunity, if we're going to make that decision to bring guns into our homes and to protect our families, that means protect our families from our guns to them. So, you know, teaching your children, putting your guns in a gun safe when you're not using them. It's our responsibility to keep them safe.
Absolutely. Amen, brother. Amen to all y'all.
Amen, bro.
We'll catch y'all next Sunday.
That's all.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and have a great week. Be safe.
Be safe.
Do me a favor, y'all. Shameless, not a plug, but everybody that's in the chat, man, if you could subscribe to whoever's on the panel and people on the panel, go back and look in the chat. Subscribe to whoever you can find, and just start listening to their message. You know, because they might be saying something or doing something that we're missing. And the more it gets in that feed and that algorithm and all, the better the word spreads.
Facts.
Oh, absolutely. Support one another. That's another thing. I'm definitely on supporting my brothers, especially righteous brothers, and everybody up here on this panel. I support 100%. They are definitely stand-up brothers, and I do appreciate each and every one of them.
Good looking, right? Good looking, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely handsome.
Oh man, love y'all, man.
All right,
Love
y'all.
y'all
Be
too.
easy,
Love
be
you back,
safe.
yo.
Love each and every one
Love
of
you,
you,
bro.
man. Have a
All
safe
right,
week.
peace
Yeah,
out,
y'all be
everybody.
good.
All right,
Okay.
y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey, Skilly.
Yes, sir. I think.